Now, I was just telling Michelle, and she already knew this history about how many songs that you have written and produced for so many other folks. And
I just realized who I'm sitting in front of.
you really, man.
Maybe my glasses too dark.
I mean, it's
I'm
been,
like, yo, this my dude.
yo, it's been a minute.
Wow.
Family reunion. Reunion.
Oh, we done had some
Oh,
great,
man.
we done had
We
some
be
great
bugging
conversation.
out in the
boy.
studio.
Man, listen.
Wow. This is crazy. Wow.
Yeah,
I was
it
like trying
has
to be
been
all
a minute.
cool. I'm like, yeah, but chilling. Like, yo! Damn.
You gotta take those glasses off so you recognize him next time. Ah,
See the world through a different eye.
that's right.
Yes, I was just talking about all the songs that you've written and produced for so many people, inclusive of D'Angelo, Mary J. Blige, and
Yeah.
TLC, et cetera, and the Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah, I had some fun. I work with a lot of good people. I like to stay a fan. You know, when you're making music, you know, things could just, life goes really fast. You know, when you start off at 19 years old, or maybe me, I started around like I was like 8 or 9 playing music. But when you start producing people who you were in your room listening to albums like Earth, Wind, and Fire, and, you know, Mick Jagger and Elton John, and then you sitting in front of them, you have to like become a fan, stay a fan.
Right.
You know, like D'Angelo, it's a brother, like a brother to me. It wasn't like producing.
Right.
It was like hanging out with a friend, and Solange, just hanging out with Solange, and just, then when the product comes out, people like it, and then that's when you get to reflect back on it when you're in the car in the middle of the night, listen to Heart and Soul, you hear Cranes in the Sky, you sit back and go,
Oh yeah,
oh, okay, that's what it is.
Gosh.
I love it. I love it. Now, Raphael, someone, as a matter of fact, 2 days ago, told me the story of how you started scoring movies and doing the music for movies. Did John Singleton actually call you and just say, I got this scene in this movie with Nia and this guy, just give me
Yeah.
a song? Is that true?
Yes, that's true. Yeah, John came to me and said, I got this scene in Boyz in the Hood. They're in the locker room kissing and making out, and I need a song. I never saw the movie at that point.
No.
And then I wrote Just Me and You.
Man, that's my joint
And,
right there, boy.
Then he said, you should score a film. And then I did Ask You, Deja. People call it Deja, but it's called Ask
Right.
You. That was in Higher Learning.
Higher learning.
Yes.
Then I did another song called I'll Be Waiting for You and Poetic Justice. I got a song in every John Singleton movie, I think I might have had a song in. And then from
Whoa.
there, I started scoring later on Insecure.
That's right, you do some work
I
with
did.
Lisa Ray. And,
Yeah, I
and
did.
that
I
whole
scored
camp.
like every season of Insecure. And then from there, I did Underground, a show called Underground.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember that.
I did that, and then I just kept going. Then I was like, okay, I need to make an album about my brother Jimmy Lee.
Right.
The album comes out August 23rd, and now I'm at Essence, walking around, you know, getting ready to do my thing again.
So you know something interesting about Jimmy Lee, because it's been 8 years since you put out a solo album
That's
of your
right.
own, right? So Jimmy Lee, you got what, 14 siblings and half
14
siblings?
brothers and sisters.
Yeah, and all the tragedy that you witnessed as a child.
Yes.
And your music was never dark. I thought that was amazing,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Just
I
to-
try to keep it light.
Yeah.
You know, I hear a lot of MCs, rappers, they sort of talk about all this, you know, kind of tough boy, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And like I said, when I grew up, I lost, my brother murdered himself because he couldn't stop. He couldn't get off drugs. My other brother OD'd off heroin. And my other brother was murdered by my sister's boyfriend when I was 7.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, black people, we don't get therapy. So I think music was my therapy. So I started making music and sort of trying to enjoy myself. I think I lost my sister, Sarah,
Right.
when I was making It Never Rains in Southern California. My sister died in a tragic car accident. And the day I sang that song. So I went to the hospital, we lost my sister. I went back, finished singing the song, and I just kept going. So then maybe 20 years later, I start making a record about all the loss in my family. But it's not just about my family, it's about, you know, your family. Everybody has a Jimmy Lee in their family. This is all of them on my arm. The 4 brothers and a sister who I
Wow.
lost. And it's been on my arm forever, but I talked about it on Instant Vintage a little bit in the beginning.
Yeah.
But it's a new chapter, and the album is not like a downer, it's an uplift. So I just feel like everybody has somebody addicted to something, but we shouldn't look down on them. So my album is titled Jimmy Lee, but it's holding Jimmy up high. Because, you know, when you like on drugs, people start calling you a smoker, you crackhead. But my brother was like a Jordan to me. I loved him. He took up. He was my dude. So it just dawned on me. I started making records, and it started sounding like this. I just said, you know what? Calling Jimmy Lee. And that's the new record. But you could dance to it. You might be dancing. You might hear a word. You might be like, whoa, that's kind of... But, you know, it's the life that we all went through. Everybody had a Jimmy Lee in their life. Everybody had somebody in their life that was addicted to drugs, addicted to something. But, you know, I'm addicted to donuts and chocolate chip cookies and girls and, you know.
That's right.
It's all an addiction. You know, you just got to figure out how to take care of it.
Yeah.
And this record, I was able to give something back to everybody out there and make a record. And I'm just glad, like, Something Keeps Calling is a single. And that's what I'm talking about. Something keeps calling, you know, when you're addicted to something. So I'm just really glad that people are, like, receiving it.
Yeah.
And you can listen to it and enjoy it. And it's also a record that you can take home to a grandmother, grandfather, a mother, a sister. You don't really have to, like, put the kids out the room or don't listen to it with your mom. You could actually listen to it.
Yeah.
I love that.
So Something Keep Calling Me, that actually speaks to the addiction piece as well.
Yes.
All the songs kind of thematic with Jimmy Lee.
The record is one record. It actually doesn't stop. When it's like 37 minutes long, and it just keeps going. It's like one story. It has different titles, but it's really all one song. And it's just not about my brother Jimmy Lee. It's about all my brother's Jimmy. My other brother was Desmond. My other sister was Sarah. And my other brother I lost him his name Alvy. So it's about not just them. It's hashtag Jimmy Lee, but it's about, like I said, everybody has a Jimmy Lee in their life.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that I could put his name on my album and call my tour the Jimmy Lee Tour, the Jimmy Lee album. And people ask me, was it hard to make? I didn't feel anything making. It was easy for me to make. The hardest thing for me to do was to sit in front of his son, which I took care of his son, you know, put him through school, basketball camp, everything. I had to sit with him first and let him hear the record. And then when he heard the record, that's when it hit me. I played it, and we looked at each other, and he turned one way, I turned one way. We both kind of dropped a little tear a little bit, and we didn't say nothing else. But now he's happy because he sees all over social media. He sees his dad's name plastered up in lights. And now he can look up to his dad, because I wanted him to look up to his father, because his father meant that much to me.
Yeah.
That's all love, all love. We couldn't let you come here and not ask you about Tony.
Yeah,
Is the next project going to be an instrumental project, like I've been told?
Yeah, I just thought that. I did some radio, and I've been talking about it, but I thought, you know, another thing we don't do is we should enjoy music, so I think we're good enough to make an instrumental record. The last album we made was in '97. We never toured off that record. Never toured, so I feel like if we do like an instrumental joint with about five joints, like some Summer Madness vibe a little bit,
Yeah.
and then we actually sing the records that we never sang for people, I think that's enough.
That's dope. I would be
great.
right there.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm right there for
That's
Raphael
enough.
Saadiq anyway.
Man, look at all these people. Wow, this is amazing. I remember sitting on this stage before. What's that? Whoa, Bay, yeah. East Bay, North Oakland, West Oakland. Where you from? What's San Jose? San Jose, okay.
Wow.
When somebody say the Bay, it's like Brooklyn. It's like the Bay Area. You gotta say something to the Bay. You gotta say. I was born in East Oakland, behind the Oakland Coliseum, where the Raiders play. I grew up with the thugs and the hustlers and the drug dealers, and they took care of me, and they so happy that to see me making records, you know. So it's love.
Yeah.
Yep.
It sounded like you was about to start rapping over there.
I was about to go in. I was, you know. I'm already right here, you know.
Right, you right here. Let's get it in, baby. So, you know, it's funny, you know, when, what was the name of the album that came out? I can't remember, but we was talking about it, and you like a true fan, because, you know, I talked about how you captured the essence of the 60s and how much it
the way
sounded.
I see it.
The way I see it. Gosh, man, and you actually listen to that music.
Yeah, I grew up with, like one of my brothers used to sing, like, used to ride me on the bike. Like I'm sitting on this way, he riding the bike. He used to sing all these wasn't old songs then.
Right.
You know, like Delphonic stylistics, like trash man didn't get the trash today.
Yeah.
Oh, why? Because they want more pay. So I heard all those songs when he was riding me. So when I started producing, I could hear all those songs. So I wanted to, and it was a lot of like, I'm a huge Temptation fan. So I'm a huge Eddie Kendricks fan, David Ruffin. And so I feel like I was born a little too late because I wanted to hang out with Motown cats.
Oh, wow.
And so I decided to jump in the suit with the skinny tie,
Right.
the slacks and the glasses. I did it first. R. Kelly did it second.
You ain't lying. 'Cause one time I saw Raphael in Vegas, true story, and he walked right past. I didn't even recognize him. Looked like I didn't know who he was until he came on stage to perform because he had that suit on. He was like, look at that crazy looking joker right there.
Let me clear that up too when I said it about Kales wasn't the only one. It was a lot of people who did it after that. But honestly, that's the reason why I actually did it because that's our history. It is the 60s, the 40s.
Yeah.
So I actually did it so kids could see it. So maybe they jump it. They might jump into a suit skinny tie because back in the day, that's how much class we carried.
Oh, yeah. Folks was
The
clean.
ladies was classy, dressed
Yes,
in the
sir.
40s, the 50s, the 60s. It was dope to be dressed like the 60s. I love fashion, I love clothes, so I missed that moment, so I had to live it a little bit.
Yeah. Absolutely. So we're looking forward to the new project, the first album in 8 years, August 23rd. Jimmy Lee, and he's going on tour next month.
I'm going on tour.
So you know what I say? Let's all bond over our mutual addiction, which is the love of music.
That's right.
Raphael
I like that.
Saadiq, something keeps
Thank you.
calling.
Much
Heart
love.
and Soul, SiriusXM, live from New Orleans.